Hi, I'm Scott Wolf, and my friend Jack Lindquist created Disney Dollars, and I'm going to let you hear him tell that story. Jack Lindquist was Disneyland's marketing guru. He started out as their first advertising manager in 1955, and he worked his way up to president of Disneyland in 1990. During his 38 years with the company, he came up with so many marketing campaigns, from grad nights to Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom Club to some of the greatest marketing events in Disneyland. Jack and I became friends, and I loved hearing all his stories. Just ignore our shirts. Jack had some way out ideas, like having Mickey and pals go on vacation to have the Muppets take over Disneyland. I did a previous video on that one. Now that one never happened, but most of his ideas did, and they were huge successes. Like having a giant cornfield in Iowa plant their corn in the shape of Mickey Mouse for Mickey's 60th birthday to be seen from airplanes above. And the gift giver extraordinaire for Disneyland's 30th anniversary, where every 30th guest would win a prize, anything from a Disney plush to a brand new car. Another idea of Jack's was for Disneyland to have its own legitimate currency. Now that one did happen, and they were called Disney Dollars. Now the catalyst for the idea of Disney Dollars came from a man named Brice, who was a silhouette cutter in Disneyland. You know, where people could go and pay to have someone cut out their silhouette. Here's a silhouette of my boys. What a talent to be able to capture someone's true profile with just a black piece of paper and scissors. I remember talking to Harry once at Disneyland about how he was a big fan of Groucho Marx, and so was I. And he told me that he could create a caricature of Groucho by folding the paper in half and cutting it, and he made one for me. He then mounted it on the Silhouette Shop paper and he gave it to me. Now Harry had gone to a Disney fan convention and he saw that people were paying money for anything with Disney on it. And that gave him an idea to make a Disney souvenir item that looked like money and could be sold as merchandise in Disneyland. He ended up bringing his idea to Neil McClure, who was Disneyland's legal counsel. Neil liked the idea and he brought Jack in to discuss it. Jack, being Jack, thought, why create a souvenir that looks like money? Why not create real money? Now I was talking to Jack about some of his ideas, and he told me the backstory of this unique money. This was just a phone conversation I was having with him 15 years ago, and I was just recording it for the facts, not so that it could ever be heard by the public. But I think it's remarkable to hear these types of stories firsthand from the people involved. So please excuse the poor quality. Listen to this.
We created Disney Dollars. We figured that we were bigger than a lot of small countries. Why don't we have our currency? The thing with that was you had to be tongue-in-cheek but serious.
Yeah.
It was not just a promotion gimmick. It wasn't a giveaway. I wanted to create a real currency for Disneyland. And we did. I did not want to create Mickey Mouse dollars. I wanted to have real value.
Right.
So you buy one, you can spend it in the park, and originally there were a lot of businesses, restaurants, bars, and so forth around Disneyland that accepted it the same as you would a dollar. You could spend it or you could keep it, but you could always come back. You could use it in the park, you could turn it into a dollar.
On May 5th, 1987, Disney issued their first Disney Dollars, and it was immediately met with excitement by park guests and Disney fans like me. It really was an ingenious idea because guests wanted to keep their Disney Dollars as souvenirs. So although it was a one-to-one exchange for US money, Disney was profiting off of it by people who wanted to save them, just like these here. Let me show you the backs of these because they had some really beautiful artwork on them. The one had Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland, and the 5 show scenes from Walt Disney World. Disney's Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom didn't exist when these were released. Another clever idea were these gift envelopes so that people could give them to others as a present, giving people yet another reason to exchange their US dollars for Disney dollars. And if someone was looking for that perfect holiday gift, well, Disney Dollars in this special holiday gift envelope makes a perfect present. With the printing of the first Disney Dollars, Jack didn't forget who gave him that initial spark for the idea. Here's a photo from the Disneyland line, which was the employee newsletter, and there's Jack presenting framed Disney Dollars to Harry. Because Disney Dollars were a real currency, They had to be developed with the same care and concerns as any other currency. Disney worked with expert printers and the United States Banknote Company in developing their own bills. It was printed and engraved on cotton rag paper, just like American dollars, so holding it even feels like real currency. And also like real currency, there were several anti-counterfeiting measures worked into the bills, and each had its own serial number. Now, not only could you use Disney dollars in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, but the businesses around Disneyland also agreed to accept them. But eventually you could use them across the country in Disney stores. And the first Disney store was only open for a couple months when Disney dollars debuted. And eventually people could even use them on the Disney Cruise Line, which didn't exist when Disney dollars were created. This is the $10 bill that featured Minnie Mouse on the front. The first Disney dollars were only the $1 and the $5 bills, and then a $10 bill with Minnie was created 2 years later. The back shows various Disneyland attractions, including the newest at the time, Splash Mountain. This one was from 1990 with the Disneyland 35th anniversary logo on it. Over the years, there were all kinds of official Disney dollars. There were Princess Disney dollars. There was one themed to the theatrical Pirates of the Caribbean. There was also a $50 bill created to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Disneyland. In 1993, there was a special Disney dollar released for Mickey's 65th birthday, which coincided with the opening of Mickey's Toontown in Disneyland. You can see that the front shows a snazzier dressed Mickey. The back of it shows Mickey as it appears in his house in Mickey's Toontown in Disneyland. Of course, with every new design, it meant Disney collectors that wanted to hang on to them, which was essentially profit for Disney. Now, to prove how valuable the Disney dollars were to collectors, Disney sold displays of Disney dollars, such as this one behind me, that displays the front and back of the Mickey's 65th version, and they were framed and matted by Disney Imagineers. I'm not sure if this one was sold at the parks or not. It was given to my wife at a special Disneyland cast member event, and it has the first issue designs on the bills. We couldn't resist having Jack sign it for us. In 2016, Disney stopped making Disney dollars. Times have changed, and people just don't use cash as much as they used to. Today, people can even use their Magic Band to buy things. Disney will still accept Disney dollars, but Disney fans will pay a lot more than face value for them. In one of my conversations, I asked Jack who came up with the idea of the Disney dollars as currency. Was it him or was it a team effort? And here's what he told me.
I came up with that myself. You know, you come up with something, but one person doesn't make it happen. You gotta have everybody involved.
Yeah.
But you start off with the idea.